Hello everyone, this is Mason again, and today I will be demonstrating how to cook a college dorm style sweet and sour chili fried rice. It's a very simple recipe that has a lot of creative freedom to it, and you can cook it for cheap for a huge quantity. So I hope this will be really helpful for a lot of you college folks out there. I know it's been, pretty tough, and I want to show you guys how to make a very delicious and very simple to make cuisine for cheap. Alright, now let's talk about all the necessary ingredients to make this fried rice. So here I have about 2 cups of pre-cooked day-old rice. You do want to use, the kind of old, kind of little dry rice. They tend to work the best. Fresh rice also works, but usually it's made with old rice, leftover rice. Right next to it, I'm going to use a lot of eggs. I have a lot of eggs, so I will be using all 4 of them. It totally depends on, your personal preference. Then we need proteins, so I'm gonna be using this mango jalapeno sausage. I really love this particular sausage. It's like my to-go kind of sausage for hot dogs and cooking. And I also have some pre-cooked peeled shrimps. They're just, like the cocktail shrimps from a supermarket. After that, I have some lime juice. I have some just regular soy sauce. I have a can of pineapple rings. You can also use fresh pineapple if you have them. And I have my favorite PF Chang's sweet chili sauce, some Yoshida's teriyaki sauce, and garlic. I'm gonna be using these peeled garlics just because I have it, but like fresh garlic probably work the best. It's just, this is what I have. Okay, for the first step, let's crack all 4 eggs into this bowl. It's pretty simple, but just make sure you don't accidentally, drop a little piece of the eggshell into your eggs. Let's give these eggs a thorough whisk. Now let's prepare a large frying pan and preheat the stove to medium to high heat. I like to add about 2-3 teaspoons of oil. It depends on your personal preference. I like to have a little more and heat up the pan a little bit. Make sure the bottom of the pan gets thoroughly covered with oil. And when the pan is hot enough, we can pour in the eggs. I personally prefer to add a little salt and a couple drops of soy sauce to further boost the flavor of the egg. You can totally be creative with your personal favorite seasoning. I just feel like, a little salt and soy sauce works the best for me. Once you've seasoned the egg, we can start stir frying. I prefer to do this before the pan gets too hot, so there's still a little bit runny egg, and it will turn into, this kind of very soft, airy texture like a scrambled egg. You want to be gentle and easy with stirring fry the eggs right now, since we will have to fry the egg again with the rice. Just, make sure they're still a little soft, just a little cooked, it's alright. Once you finish cooking it, we can pour the egg into a plate and we can put it aside for later. Alright, once you've finished stir frying the egg, we can start preparing the other protein and vegetables. I have the 2 sausages out, I have a couple pineapple rings, I got the eggs aside, I also have the cocktail shrimp. We just want to cut them into like smaller slices, we don't want them to be diced. Alright, once you've finished cutting your ingredients, let's put them neatly together on a clean plate. This really helps, like cooking them later. And for pineapple, we want them to be like slightly bigger chunks just because they shrink a little. The same for the shrimp, and since the shrimp is already cooked, we can't really cook it too long, so just keep that in mind. Let's heat up the pan again and let's make the sauce base for the fried rice. I prefer to use about 3 teaspoons of butter. You can use a little more or use a little less. And the reason I'm going to use butter right now is because I want to add more flavor to the shrimp, the pineapple, and the sausage. So I will be stir frying the shrimp, the sausage, and the pineapple first with the sweet chili sauce. Now when the butter has melted and slightly heated up, we can add the sliced garlic in it. Just lightly stir fry the garlic in the butter to let the garlic's flavor gets infused with the butter. Just make sure you are not using really high heat. You don't want to burn the butter nor the garlic. You just want them to turn a little brownish and they should be good. After that, we can add the shrimp. Just give it, a light fry. Do not use really high heat. Just let the garlic butter's flavor gets infused with the shrimp and you should be ready to go. Now you want to add a little white pepper powder just to get rid of the fishy smell of the shrimp. Just like a little bit, like maybe half teaspoon is okay. But yeah, it's actually a pretty necessary step if you ever cook anything with seafood. And I also prefer to add a couple drops of lime juice just to use the lime's sourness to bring out the freshness of the shrimp and give it a light stir fry. Don't take it too hard. The shrimp will take in the flavor pretty nicely. Alright, and when the shrimp has started to turn a little brown, we can add the sausage. Now we can add the PF Chang's sweet and sour chili sauce. Let's keep the pineapple for later, just because, if you cook pineapple too long, it tends to, fall apart and then it just ruins the flavor. So let's, flavor the rest of the protein first and have this, nice sauce base going on in the pan. And personally, I'd love to add about 2 spoons of the teriyaki sauce. I just love to have, a little like the teriyaki flavor to it. It really helps, bringing up the flavor of the protein. Alright, now we have this beautiful sauce base and the rest of the protein cooking pretty well. We can add the pineapple at last. We just want everything here together to, like saute a little bit. Don't use too much heat, or you will, damage the protein and the pineapple. Just, be gentle with it. We don't want to overcook things. At this step, you can choose to add a little soy sauce or a little chili oil for your personal preference. I prefer to add about 2 spoons of soy sauce to just add a little extra saltiness to it. And I just really love how like soy sauce can also bring up the extra flavor in the protein. Definitely don't add too much, or else this thing might become a little too salty. So just do it with your personal preference. You can also add a little black pepper. This is again completely optional. I just love the flavor. You can definitely go crazy with it if you really, dig the black pepper flavor. When your protein base and your sauce base is ready, we can add the steamed rice. Just add it like a little bit at a time, because if you add too much in it, again, you could like bring the temperature down, and then it's like hard to heat it up and stir fry it again. So just add like a little bit at a time. Give it a sort of stir. Make sure the rice is thoroughly broken down into the sauce and starts to suck in the flavor. So just like be gentle with it. Don't rush it, and it should work out pretty well. And definitely don't forget the egg. Alright, we are almost there. Now you need to consider if the flavor is enough. If at this point it's not flavorful enough, you can add more, soy sauce. I added about 2 spoons more, and then just a little extra of the sweet chili sauce for the flavor. Definitely do it a little bit at a time. You don't want to like accidentally add too much at one point and then it's like, oh, I have to cook it again. You don't want to stir fry the rice too long after this step. As long as your rice and everything is thoroughly flavored and stir fried, you can turn off the heat and serve the food. And look at that, a big hot bowl of sweet and slightly spicy chili fried rice. Ah, this is so delicious. Alright, if you've successfully followed this recipe and made a hot bowl of delicious fried rice, then congratulations. I hope this recipe is really helpful for you. Now, this bowl is just way too heavy for me to pick it up and do my traditional outro, so I'm just gonna film it this way. I really want to give a special thank to KBVR TV at the Orange Media at OSU. These videos really took me a long time to make and also a lot of work on their end to, produce it and publish it. So just, please leave a like and subscribe to KBVR TV. Thank you.